It is now 6:30 p.m. December, my bad, December the 11th, 2017. This time I call the City Council, City of Grantville into open session. And Mr. Mallory, would you lead us to invocation? And when he's finished, if you would remain standing and join me in the pledge.
Let's open our prayer. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day you bless us, good Father. We thank you for blessing our town, watching our whole town, Father. We keep you safe, Father. We pray for your guidance in this meeting tonight, Father. We pray that we come together in unity. We pray you guide each mayor. We pray you guide this council, the city manager, the city attorney, Father. We pray you come together in unity and our decisions, Father. We pray this in Jesus' name. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. First order of business will be, I don't see it, Al, did we drop it?
No, sir. The oath of office for our newly elected council member. It's right after the pledge.
Okay. We will do that now.
Yes, sir.
Alan, if you would step up to the podium, please.
Bring his family up, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody you want up here?
Gonna bring the boys up, Tucker, Owen, and Brent,
How are you, sir?
and his lovely wife.
It's my wife, Leanne.
How are you? Let's see. Hey, boys, how are you? All right, sir, if you'll raise your right hand. I solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution and will obey the laws of the United States and the state of Georgia, that I will in all respects observe the provisions of the charter and ordinances of the city of Grantville, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of council member. If you so swear or affirm, please say I do.
I do. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Yes, sir. You should ask him.
I want to take your hand. I want to put it like that.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Ms. Rubin. Thank y'all very much.
Next order of business will be the approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Have a motion, have a second. Do we have any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered. Next order of business will be approval of the minutes of the regular meeting, November 13th, 2017. I have a motion to accept the minutes as published.
Mr. Mayor, the city attorney has some corrections which he has given to me, which I will give to the city clerk. They are correcting his comments.
Okay. Can we accept them pending those changes?
Yes, sir.
Have a motion to accept the minutes for the 13 with the corrections by the city attorney. Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion second, all in favor, or questions, any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered. Next order of business be new business, the announcement of Christmas parade, December 16th, 2017 at 2 p.m. Chief Whitlock,
Yes, sir.
you want to step up? Or you-
We're looking forward to the parade. I don't know if everybody was there that night. Last Friday night, we had the tree lighting. We had a great show. We had about, I'm not sure how many people we had there. I know they took over 200 pictures with kids with Santa Claus, so that turned out really good. We're hoping to have a nice parade here. From what I understand, I think it's going to be pretty big. We're going to be starting at the ball field, come down West Grantville, headed back the back roads over to the depot, come down in front of the depot, turn on Main Street, and head back to the ballpark. We're not really sure how many people are going to be here. I've been told, as of today, anywhere from 20 to probably 70 vehicles involved with the parade. So I think we're going to do really good. I'm really happy with the turnout. I'd like to say that I didn't get to speak about the fall festival, and it turned out really good. We had over 2,000 people there. Now with the Christmas lighting of the tree, I've been told we had anywhere from 200 to 400 people there. Like I said, I know we took 200 pictures because that's how many pictures the girl put out. So I'm not really sure, but just the cooperation with the city and the churches here in the city, that just turned out really good. Police department's been honored to be able to support them this year, and looking forward for this next year. Any questions about the parade? We hope everyone can be there. If you want to put a photo in the parade, do it. If you just want to walk in the parade, do it. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, we're looking forward to it. We'll see what happens then. No questions? Thank you.
I'd like to say to you and your department, I appreciate all the effort you put into it.
Well, it's taken the whole department. I spoke to Kiwanis last week, or excuse me, this week. No, last week. Yeah, last week. And I told him, I said, that's what's happened now, is we've got a group of people pulling together and pulling things to the city, and we're getting a great response. I mean, it's I can't take credit for it because it's been the whole department and everything, but everybody's done a really good job. I guess I kind of spearhead it, but I've got people who want to jump in and do everything, so we're having a good time doing it. So I just think it's great for the kids. So thank y'all.
Appreciate it. Okay.
Next item, Mr. Mayor, is an announcement that the fencing on the backside of the walking trail at the Grantville Park Complex has been completed, and the lighting at the Grantville Skate Park has been installed.
There's nothing to discuss on that issue done. Okay. Next order of business, the approval of MEAG power sale of excess reserve capacity to the city of Grantville on behalf of the city of Thomasville, authorizing the mayor to sign.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. This is sort of our annual contract with MEAG, where MEAG shifts the power between MEAG cities, where at times we sell power to Adel, Georgia. Thomasville has been willing to sell us any of their excess reserve capacity, and this contract starts on January the 1st, 2018 and runs through 2018 if and when we need more power than we have budgeted with MEAG. They will sell us their excess capacity.
Okay.
We recommend approval.
I do have a motion authorizing the mayor to sign this agreement.
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion, second, any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered. Next order of business, the approval of the fiscal year 2017 water and wastewater rate study. Increase the residential and municipal rates of $1.52 increase of residential and municipal wastewater rates of $1.18 effective January 1/18. Before we get into that, I have something I want to say about that, and that is at section 38-1C of City Code or ordinance states that a regular council meeting recommendation of the rate study shall be made public, and if the recommendations are not adopted, a full explanation shall be given at such meeting as to why such recommendations of the rating specialist are not being put into effect. And I want to take this opportunity to explain to the citizens and the ratepayers of this city why I oppose the proposed rate increase and believe it should not be adopted. Many of our ratepayers are elderly, others are on fixed income or operate a small business. None of these can just suddenly come up with additional money to pay their utility bills, and we have to be mindful that in considering any increase in fees or rates before we ask our ratepayers to shoulder the burden of any rate increase, we have a duty to be able to look them in the eye and justify it. Let me get my act together here. If we adopt them, we must give a full explanation as to why we don't. And I'm confident that we have a sound and reasonable explanation why we would not adopt the recommendation. I urge each of you to oppose this rate increase. Now, beyond that, that's what I've got to say about it, and I open the floor for a motion if that's what you want to do. Do I have a motion to accept the recommendation, or I guess reject the rate study?
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion that we reject the increase of the rate study.
Do I have a motion and a second?
A second on that.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have question or discussion?
Yep. Discussion.
Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, as I understand it, and I am in agreement with you on this, but as I understand it, we have a problem. I'd like to know what we're purchasing for water from Coweta County, and how many billable units of that water we are actually dispensing out to the customers in the city. I believe that, we all hear about all these water leaks and everything, and until we fix those water leaks, which is the city's responsibility, I don't think we'd be justified in asking the constituents of the community to pay any increases whatsoever. It's not their fault the water's leaking. As I understand it, the water's leaking on lines that were put in about 25 years ago. They turned around and there was a class action suit brought. Grantville could have partaken in that about 5 years ago. Really, it's not our problem, but it's our problem to fix. And for whatever reason, the city dropped the ball. We never got the contractor back here to make all the necessary repairs, which evidently stem around the tap connection nuts that are attached to the water line. They were failing. That's why the federal government had a program to have the company come back out and fix all that stuff. And for whatever reason, Grantville didn't get into that, and thus we have the water leak problems. So until we fix the water leaks, I will not be supporting any effort to increase our rate structure in that department. Thank you.
Anybody else got any comment?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't think it's fair for the citizens having to pay for something that's not their fault. That we as officials and the city have control of that. We should have fixed those cracks a long time ago, replaced the pipes, and for some reason just didn't happen. So because of that, I agree with not raising the rate on that. We need to get on this, make a priority for next year to make sure that we fix those leaks wherever they may be, and start working on it right away and get straight on this infrastructure, because our infrastructure is very important for everything. Everything we do, everything we see, and everything that grows around this whole city is infrastructure. It's so important, and we got to make sure that's straight. Even before we bring any business in this city, we got to make sure all that's corrected and straight and ready to go, because it's a major function of our everyday lives, and we need those things to make sure that they're okay and they're straight. And we're not being charged for something that wasn't the citizens' fault to pay extra rates for that. So I agree not to increase on that. Thank you, Mayor.
Anybody else?
Well, I would be in accord to let all the pipes and all be repaired. I do recall a citizen calling me one day when the water over on Griffin Street was just running. He said it's running like a river. So I went over there, and it was a little strained. And so it needs to be, we need to do our part before we burden our citizen with doing what they need to do. With the understanding that if we're losing money, we are losing money by not increasing it, then we need to look for ways to correct that and repair the pipes or put in new ones, whatever, so that we can move forward in the best interest of all.
Well, I just like to add that, I think we can, if we're already in the red, I think we can get back in the black by, cutting the expenses, being more diligent as far as collecting the bills that go uncollected here in the city for whatever reason. And just basically combination of cutting expenses, and if we need to increase a little bit, and so be it. But I think there's plenty of wiggle room here that if we work on it, we can fix the problem without putting a burden on the citizens of Grantville. And no further questions. We have a motion, all in favor, signify by aye, of rejecting it.
Aye.
Opposed? None. So, next order of business be the approval of resolution number 2017-10, urging Georgia General Assembly to oppose de-annexation legislation to create new municipalities, providing for severability, repealing inconsistent resolution, providing an effective date, and for other purposes.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. We have got a request from the city of Stockbridge to pass a resolution that would go to our legislative delegation. There's been a number of bills introduced in the General Assembly which would de-annex large portions of the city of Stockbridge in order to create a new city of Eagles Landing. This would have devastating impact on the city of Stockbridge, taking away nearly 45% of the city's acreage and an estimated 58% of the city's operating revenue. The entire membership of the Georgia Municipal Association was unanimous in supporting the position of the GMA 2018 legislative priorities that portions of existing municipalities should not be de-annexed to create new municipalities unless consented to by the governing body of the existing municipalities or the voters of the existing municipality. So, this is in answer to their request, and it is at the discretion of the city of Grantville if they'd like to pass this legislation which supports the city of Stockbridge.
What's the will of the council?
I make a motion that we endorse this and support the city of Stockbridge.
We have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do you have discussion or question? Nobody? I would like to ask the city attorney, does he have any feeling one way or the other?
Well, I think, certainly it's up to the council. There's certainly nothing wrong with taking a position on this. As the letter points out, while this particular legislation that's been introduced so far only affects the city of Stockbridge, there's certainly nothing to say that if that were to pass, that it couldn't then be applied to other municipalities across the state. And I think it is an alarming trend that a city could lose that much of its land area and revenue to create a new city without any input from the voters or the elected officials of the city that's being affected. So I certainly think would be advantageous to take a position supporting Stockbridge's position on that.
Any other discussions or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, so ordered. Next order of business, recognition of Councilman Member Gomez. His service to the city.
Yes, sir. At this time, we have prepared a plaque for Councilmember Gomez, who served from January the 1st, 2014 till December the 31st, 2017. In recognition of your hard work, meritorious service, and devotion to making Grantville a better place to live, we present you this plaque.
Next order is citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens' comments? None? Okay, city council comment. Mr. Gomez.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for being here this evening. It's great to see everybody as always, all the time. Of course, this is my last meeting for a while, I guess, being an official for the city. But my true dreams are to continue this forward. Eventually, down the road, a year or so, whatever. Since I eventually will be moving to Noonan, so I'm gonna get settled in there and eventually run for office in Noonan somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where, but so we'll find out where that goes. But yeah, it's been an honor. It's been great. I want to thank the city council, the mayor, and the city lawyer, city manager for supporting us in everything we do and being the best you can be and showing us the great leadership that you have. Definitely it's been an awesome venture for me, and I learned so much and built relationships and got to know more people that I didn't even know existed. And I want to thank the chief for stepping in and helping run the city and take care of us and protect us and stuff like that. So keep doing what you're doing, and we appreciate you very much, because it's so important that we have that foundation through of course, through you and the fellows that you have in your realm to protect them as well and show them the leadership that you have, so they can become great leaders as well. And someday, who knows? It might be chief here. Who knows what? So that's all part of that. Just growing up. So it's very important that we have a good department, and of course it begins with the chief of police. So keep doing what you're doing, and I look forward to seeing everyone down the road. And I definitely want to do more for the city. So that's why I want to run for higher office down the road somewhere where I can make a bigger difference as well, to help resources and give y'all help and work with each other and engage, collaborate with everything that we do in the Coweta County, because it's all about us. It's every one of us, not just the city, but all the cities really in the state of Georgia. But in the county here, because there's some beautiful cities in this county that are really growing, really becoming prosperous and economic growth, and have some great leaders in place, and this city has the same thing. So we have so much to offer in this city that I really love it, and I really hate to come down off the seat, but of course with Alan coming in, Alan, it's your baby now. You take care of it and do whichever you can, and don't beat up on anybody too much, okay, and stuff. But we look to you for leadership, and they're going to be looking for you for answers too as well, to be that leader, to be an ambassador wherever you go for the city and stuff, because that's what it's all about. It's exposing the city as what it is, what it can be, and what it has to offer, the resources and everything, and the people that live here. It's just beautiful. So I think that's a big step. So definitely, I want to see some great things coming out of the city, and I see some great things happening for this city too as well with the leaders they have here currently right now, and I know that we can do bigger and better things down the road. So definitely look forward to that. But as always, I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I know we had some really rocky times, but it's all part of that. It's part of getting to know each other and building relationships and trusting each other, and just loving and caring for each other and looking after each other and stuff. So Merry Christmas, and I hope everyone has a great Christmas and Happy New Year, and stay close to your families and hug them and tell them you love them every day and stuff, and you care about them and stuff, and that's what it's about, So definitely, if there's anything I can do for anyone or help any kind of way that I can, definitely will be coming back here as well, because just because I'm gone or going to be gone doesn't mean that I'm never going to come back. But you can't get rid of me, okay? So. Definitely will be looking forward to seeing all y'all again. So definitely also though, I was down at the Toyota dealership 2 weeks ago getting my car service, and I saw the owner of the Toyota dealership, and I spoke with him, and he was very thrilled about him sponsoring our little Blues Fest a while back, in the summertime, and he heard some great things. So I think that's a great step toward the right direction too as well. And also, hey, we got the highway lit up. You can see for miles, a long ways. And that was one of the things I really worked on when I first came on board, is making sure we light that highway so we can bring in prosperity and growth. Say, hey, lights are on, ready for action. Come on down. Grantville's ready. So that's what it's all about. So thank you very much, and appreciate it for the plaque. It's just awesome. Thank you so much. I just don't know what to say. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Leonard. Mr. King?
Mr. Gomez, I think you went over your 3 minutes.
That's not last time.
But well, it's about time. But first, I'd like to say thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you to the police chief, and I realize that there are a lot of individuals involved. Far too many for us to try to name, but for spearheading that action that has been taking place in this city for the last couple of months, you definitely deserve recognition for that. So thank you very much, sir. It is greatly appreciated, not only by the council, but the people love you. So keep that in mind. And that's what it's all about. It's all about love. The city will be having the parade on Saturday. Weather report is it's going to be nice, sunny. It's going to be 50, 60 degrees. I'm hoping that everyone who catches word of this has an opportunity to get out and enjoy it. It's going to be an interesting parade. It's going to be a big parade. It's going to be worth coming out and checking over. Lastly, tonight we decided that we're not going to persecute the people of the city of Grantville by raising their water and sewer rates. And I think that was a very good idea. I commend the mayor for opening the statements up about that. In that respect, he's absolutely right. In problem solving, we have a problem. We're leaking water. We've identified the problem. We know exactly what it is. The problems are that some of this could be avoided with some preventive maintenance, heavy-duty maintenance, but preventive maintenance. And secondly, when a citizen reports a water leak on a Friday afternoon, it needs to be addressed on Saturday. It doesn't need to be addressed on Monday or Tuesday or the next Wednesday. as a city council member, that's my water that's leaking. Myself, the city, we have to pay for that water that's leaking. And if there is a situation that, like that, it's not getting dealt with whatsoever, flags need to be raised for that. I'm not calling anybody out, I'm just saying that we need to have a way that we can get situations like that addressed to minimize our losses. Lastly, Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope everybody has a very happy and holy holiday. I'm looking forward to it. And I just say Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Drive safe, be safe. Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Ms. Hines.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I promise y'all, I will be brief. Thank you so much for the goodies. As I sit and watch my husband, I know he's going to enjoy just the crumbs. I'll give him the crumbs. I want to say, first of all, Merry Christmas, and hope you will have a joyful New Year. And I hope to see every one of you at Walmart. Our Dollar General is our small Walmart. It's the place to be. I want to say also to give a humble thanks to Mr. Grieshaber, Mayor Jewell, our City Council, Mr. Fout, Manager of Noonan, and Mr. Whitlock, the Assistant Manager, who were instrumental in getting our walking trail fenced in. I walked the trail and I felt so safe. Also, with gratefulness, I would like to thank Mr. Ron Owens and his staff for installing extra lighting at our skate park. Believe it or not, the skaters were skating Sunday. On my way to City Council, there were 3 cars at the skate park, and they were skating. They could see the light was on, and they were happy campers. So, you know, I'm just so happy about that, because that skate park is really the only year-round recreational site that our people have. So that was, I believe, a step in the right direction. So again, I want to say Merry Christmas to one and all, and I hope that we will continue to work together in 2018 in a more unified way than we did in 2017. And in so doing, we will be able to accomplish what must be done for our city and in a timely manner. Again, I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. I just want to add, at the Fall Festival, I decided, Mr. Whitlock, not to give candy, but I did give out chips. And some to adults. So it was a wonderful time, and yes, it was more people there than I've seen in Grantville, and I've been here 70 plus years. I've never seen 75, be nice. He was a student, I'm gonna have to talk to him. Anyway, it was a wonderful time, and you know, it's just good when we can all come together down here. And we will show a wonderful sign of unity. Thanks again for coming out.
He was a student, you don't want to share any of your memories of him
You know
before
what,
he gets
I wouldn't, I don't let me do that.
Mr. Keith.
I would like to also echo everyone in saying, Steve, we appreciate the job that you're doing. One thing that I appreciate about your leadership and management style is the team that you build. And you wouldn't be able to do the things that you do without the team that you have. And I appreciate you for leading and managing in that aspect. Also, Leonard, really enjoyed over the last few years getting to know you. I know we haven't always agreed, but we've agreed to disagree on some things in order to move forward. And congratulations on your accomplishments, and I look forward to seeing your name on some more ballots in the future. I've really enjoyed the time that we've had to serve together. Also, I would just wish everyone a wonderful holiday season, Merry Christmas, and I'm always available if needed. Thank you so much.
All right. Before I get started on that fence that Ms. Hines was talking about, I'd like to, with her permission, also add Mr. Tim Lassiter. He worked not just on that, but since I've been mayor of the city, he has reached out to, in any way he can, to try to help this city, and I think he needs a recognition on that. Having said that, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight, being a part of the city council meeting. I'd like to encourage everyone to come as often as you can, so you can know firsthand how your council member is representing your interests. Next, I'd like to take a moment to address false reports that the city of Grantville, and in particular the mayor, has and his administration position on movie companies operating within the city. These false reports are being promoted by at least one member of this council. Let me first say, for the record, as mayor of this city, I have never, nor will I ever, do anything to harm this city. Further, as mayor of the city, I welcome and encourage any legitimate production company to come to Grantville, and we will welcome them and assist them in any way that we can. Having said that, let me further say, if this thing will let me further say, it was the owner of a Facebook post stated that there were 2 letters going all over the county, but us in Grantville would not get one because Mayor Jewell stopped movie businesses from coming to Grantville, and that the city manager agrees it's an inconvenience. Then he displayed the letter. At least 2 members of this council took that post as gospel without attempting to verify with the mayor's office or the city manager's office. Or it's factually, for the record, here is a open records request made by me for any and all correspondence between the city manager and Trey, what's his name? Bagley? Trey Bagley with Coweta County. He does the movie productions. And subject to that open records request, I got the response from him right here. And this individual that post on Facebook was talking about was sending letters out to everybody. His response was, "Hey Al, I'm not aware of anything regarding this. I tried to find it on Facebook but could not. Is it possible that you could send the post to me? I am familiar with this lady. In fact, just last week, I had a lady here in Noonan contact me to see if this lady and her company was legit. They had stopped at this lady's house and said they wanted to film her house. I contacted the state film office, and they also knew of her, but that her company is not a production company, but a company that tries to find locations, enters into contract with owners to control any filming that they hope to attract. The state office said the company is not in the best relationship with the state. In conclusion, let me assure all the citizens of this city that as mayor of this city, any legitimate entity that is a positive for our city will be welcomed by this mayor, and I thank you. That's all I've got to say, except to wish every one of you happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Next, Mr. Grishaber, you have anything to say?
No, sir, I don't. Thank you.
How about Mr. Mitchell?
Just one item, at your last meeting, you had an agenda item about accepting the funds from the cemetery trust, and you asked me to look at that. The city manager got me the trust documents relating to the Grantville Cemetery Trust. I had responded to the city manager that I believe that under the terms of the trust that action to transfer the funds from the trust account needs to be taken by a majority of the trust, and the trust is comprised of 6 members. Right now, there is only 1 member, and it's my opinion that in order to transfer those funds, that the other positions on the cemetery trust need to be filled. They can be filled by the city council, but those other open positions should have been and need to be filled, and then any action relating to the transfer of those funds needs to be taken by the entire trust rather than simply 1 member. So that's my report back on that issue to the council, and I'll leave that for you all to take action as you deem appropriate.
Do we want to consider that tonight before we adjourn?
It's certainly up to the mayor and city council.
You want to explain the meeting that we had concerning where we got to where we're at?
Well, yes, sir. We were approached by the sole trustee, Donald Olmsted, and he felt due to his age and the fact that the other trustees were deceased, that he would like to transfer the funds from the cemetery trust fund. And in fact, the corporate resolution requires 1 signature. So he got the cemetery trust funds and got a check payable to the city of Grantville. It was his desire as the sole trustee to transfer the funds to the city of Grantville to be utilized for capital improvements to the Grantville Cemetery. And that is where we are right now. We do have a check. We have not deposited the check, waiting for the action of the city council.
I might add to that we did discuss that money has to be put in a separate account to only be used to make improvements on that cemetery. And I threw out, and Donald agreed that one thing that's really needed over there is to put some kind of retainer wall along Griffin Street to prevent those graves from slipping any further into the street. So that's what we intend to do, again, based on y'all's direction.
Trust and debt, if I could look at it a minute, please.
If I understood Mr. Mitchell correctly, the council could become part of the cemetery committee.
Now, they can make appointments to it.
And by those appointments would be necessary in a vote of that body confirming the transfer of the funds before we would be in any position to make any decision at all. Is that correct, Mr. Mitchell?
That's my position. As the city manager said, the corporate resolution says that to sign a check only requires 1 signature. He's correct. But the trust says the trustees, and trustees is a defined term, and it's 6 people. The trustees shall act by vote of the majority of their number at any given time. So I believe, based on that language, that to make a decision to transfer the funds would require a vote of a majority of the 6-member trustees. Then, as the city manager says, one person could sign the check. But I believe that language requires a vote by a majority of the trustees, and trustees being a 6-member body. So that's the basis of my opinion. And as I said, the trust document provides that if the trustees don't appoint, says any trustee may resign his office at any time without leave of court. Any vacancy occurring among the trustees occasioned by death, removal, resignation, refusal, or inability to serve, or otherwise may be filled by the remaining trustees. So Mr. Olmsted himself could act to appoint others, or in the case of their failure to act within 3 months after the occurrence of such vacancy, which certainly has happened now. Apparently these vacancies have existed for quite some time. Upon application by the trustees to the city council of the city of Grantville, Georgia.
So we don't have to appoint him. He can actually, as the lone.
As the remaining trustee, he could appoint 5 other people. Or he could ask that the council appoint 5 other people. But I think, in my opinion, those 5 people need to be appointed, and the trust as a body, a majority of the trust needs to act to decide what to do with those funds.
And we did have one volunteer tonight, so be a trustee. But anyway, any action y'all want to take tonight? A motion to whatever?
I just think that he should be given the opportunity to appoint 5 people, and if he doesn't, then we take action on it.
Well, as I understand it, he has to ask them. He has to ask the council. But
It's a formality, but let's do it right. It's a formality, but let's do it right.
amen. Wow.
Can we ask the city manager to contact the surviving individual and set up a meeting, or either have him make the appointment or have him request that the city council make those appointments so that we can take this matter to a conclusion?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You want to put that in form of motion?
Make a motion that we have the city manager contact the trust, the cemetery trust, the remaining trustee, to have him either grant people to the onto the board of the trust, those members being the sitting city council members, or appoint 5 new ones so that we may continue this forward to transfer the funds.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Have a motion, second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered. Only thing I would say now, do it as fast as you can. I had hoped to have that wall as a Christmas present on one side of the street for the city, but we may still get it. We're moving fast enough. All right, do we have any reason to go into executive session?
I don't have anything.
None? Anybody up here? No further business come before the council, adjournment's in order.
So moved.
Got a motion second, any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
We
Aye.
adjourn.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks
Yes, sir.
for the heavy state.
Yes, sir, my pleasure. We all, well, I'm telling
Well, state Christmas one.
you.
Hopefully